But first of all,
You're listening to That Girl B
and Ginger Tea.
and you're locked into the But First of All podcast.
Slow down when you roll that. Badam badam dum dum. Girl, you hot explosion. Badam badam dum dum. Any man that leave you. Dadam dadam dum dum.
Hello, everyone. We decided to groovy you out today. That tune is
Listen.
my new favourite tune. Not even lie, like, oh my gosh, that is my new favourite tune. It's Your Band by Preedy, and play it in your car. The bass is
Mad.
amazing. Yeah. So that's our new intro. So
Hope you like it.
let us know. Yeah, let us know if you don't like it though. We will probably won't do anything, but might as well let us know. You know. So yeah, I'm Ginger Tea.
And I'm That Girl B.
And we are the But First of All team. Welcome back to our podcast. The feedback from the last one was really, really, really good.
Apart from, I got a phone call yesterday and I got my Grenada card revoked.
I mean, I can see why.
I got my Grenada card revoked.
I can
And
see
I said, excuse me, what are you doing?
Where's the card? Can I have it?
No, because I kept it. It's still mine.
Maybe we should cut it up and we can give you a piece every time you
Every
kind of
time I-
validate a piece of
Every
your
time I do
grenade.
something good.
Yeah, every time you get a piece of authentic Grenadian from Becky, we can just give her a piece
Give
of her
me a
card.
piece of my card.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. So hats off to the person who said that to Becky, because that's funny. So I guess we can start by how was my week. So first of all, I'm going to say that I hope everybody registered to vote, because obviously the deadline has now passed.
Yes.
I hope everybody registered to vote because
Vote Labour.
guys, that was not us. That was our studio guy. I don't know what he was doing, but that's what that was. So that wasn't us. So
Let's get back.
yeah, registering to vote.
Vote Labour.
Vote Labour, everybody. Obviously, if you did register to vote, if you didn't, I'm a bit shamed actually, because that means you can't really complain. If it's one thing we need to register to vote for, is to save the NHS. Like, guys, I don't think you understand how important this NHS is to us. Like, there are other countries that don't have such things, and it's the difference between literally paying £9 for a prescription and £40 for a prescription. So if you are somebody who gets medication regularly, like, if you think about it in that context, for that one thing, there's many other things that are probably going to be better under Labour government. But
The waits in A&E are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a
Staff
joke.
are under so much pressure, and all it does is just, it reflects badly on patients.
yeah, and a lot of the services now that the NHS were previously offering, they've been commissioned out, and same commission places are now charging the NHS triple the amount it was costing them to actually fund these services
Exactly
to now
right.
use them. So we're just dwindling the money away, basically. So if you are going to vote, like, please think about it. If it's not for you, think about your loved ones, think about your future.
This is our future, guys.
Yes, us and our
This is
kids.
the
Think
life
about if
that
we want
are
to
living
have
in.
kids
This
now,
is our
maternity.
future.
You got maternity wards. Think about how much you'd have to pay for certain times in bed wait, certain having a nurse at the side of your desk. There are countries where you.
Is
mad.
the NHS is literally one of the most important things that
I know,
we
and
have.
everyone's just like, "Oh, this a man up. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Have you looked into what it's actually gonna? You might end up paying £40 for. You might need a tablet for something that you're sick with, and it might end up being £40 because
and
the
if
pharmaceutical.
you don't have the £40, then what?
Then that's it.
That's it. You ain't. What are you gonna do then?
You're just there. You're just there. You there. Anyway, so please, I hope everyone did register to vote. If you haven't registered to vote, the deadline has passed, but you can still register for obviously future elections. So I would advise that, you get that done. Do you want to tell us a bit about your week?
Well, my week was quite busy still.
She's lying. She was bored because I was in
Wait,
Budapest.
Can you
I
just
was in
wait?
Bu-
I was gonna get there.
I was in Budapest and she wasn't there. She was jealous.
I was gonna get there. I was gonna say that I was, a bit busy, doing all the important things.
Now what?
But I was also really jealous because Tani went to Budapest.
Yeah, me and my friend Nicole, we found this little Groupon deals and bought one of those, and it was actually a good little break. By the way, Budapest and Hungary, really, really cheap to just buy things in general, apart from in the
No.
touristy areas.
Can I tell you what made me laugh about you lot of shit?
What?
Those Negro sweets.
Listen, when you go to like European countries, you're just like, for fuck's sake, like, why does this always have to happen? Like,
Why were the seats called Negros?
they were called Negros. There was a packet of sweets, and then we went in another shop, and there was like all different flavors, and I was just like, honestly, I really just.
having a moment.
I'm having a moment because every time you go to like a European country, some shit happen like that. You see some shit like
I know,
that.
and it's just
Some
like
silly shit. Like,
Negro, come on. And the thing is, yeah, it was proper written in capitals in black.
yeah.
Like, you taking.
And I think the original sweets were black sweets. Like, that's what, because the first packet I saw, they were black. So I was just like, oh, honestly, it was too much. But other than that, like, we didn't have any like racist encounters or anything like that.
Oh,
It was
that's
actually
good.
generally really, really good. But just if you go obviously to touristy parts, it was quite expensive for food and stuff. But where we was by the hotel, listen, everything was dirt cheap.
What did you eat that was weird, like different to what you normally eat?
We had a deer sausage. So me and Nicole had a deer sausage because Nicole likes big sausages. So, but Nicole was like, I like sausage,
Nicole,
and I was like,
don't have that. Nicole, don't have that.
Nicole likes big sausage, so we had a deer sausage, and it was a really good sausage.
What did it taste like? What did it taste like? Did it remind you of anything? Was it? I didn't.
What are you funny? I mean, it was a really big sausage, so. No, it didn't. Do you know what? It was more beefy than porky because like it was like obviously isn't deer like venison or something? I think it's venison. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But I think it's venison. The venison is very similar to beef, but it was a little bit.
Was it like
softer?
twangy,
No, but it was nice.
sweet?
No, it was. Okay, you asked me a lot of questions. It was a lot of days ago, and I can't remember. I just ate it. It was nice.
But you did.
Yeah, bet Nicole enjoyed it more. The sausage.
Nicole, listen, don't have it, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So that was, the most exciting thing that happened. Then obviously it's back to work Monday morning, and then that's always fun.
We know what that's like.
It's always fun, Monday motivation. Oh, this is your Monday motivation, guys. Yeah.
This is why we wanted to actually put it out on Mondays, because I was just like, Monday morning, something funny to listen to on the way to work, or something funny to end your long Monday.
Or something funny to listen to when people are annoying you. You put your headphones in,
you just
do work.
Listen to us.
Listen to us talk up the things, because we're calling out all the bullshit. But first of all, slogan tees are now available. Hit us up for prices and designs.
So there hasn't been anything that's been really that funny and significant.
Not really. Although I did see this meme, of this monkey, and when okay, so the monkey had it was sitting and had his hand over his head, when you're trying to do up sexy pose and you got your arm over your head, yeah. And the meme says when you video call her on WhatsApp and she's trying to look cute without filters. I'm not gonna that's me. I'll be flinging my locks to one side, I'll be flinging my locks and doing up angles because I want to look nice on the video call.
Listen, you be doing up the most silliest things. We all do it. Sitting there with the camera
Meanwhile, your neck's hurting you. Meanwhile, my neck's hurting me. I want to put my head tie on, but if I put my head tie on, I'm going to look proper mash up. So I've got to keep my locks down. Listen, it's hard work,
And then when you're trying to readjust sometimes, and then the camera moves, all you hear is, don't look at the ceiling, man.
First of all, shut the hell up. I'm regrouping. Can you let me regroup?
I'm trying to rejig. I'm trying to get the angle again.
Just let me regroup. Honestly, let me regroup and fix myself, because I might have had a caca in my eye or something. Does everyone know what caca is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's what it means. Caca means caca means it's like eye shit. That's what it means in French.
Well, I call it I do.
Yes, eye shit. Caca. But I don't know what other people call it. My mum used to call it yampy. I used to always be so confused. She'd be like, you got yampy in your eye. My dad was like, you got caca in your eye.
I've always I do. You got I do. How's your eye gone do? Anyway,
it's eye mess, innit? It looks like doo from your eye, does it? Yeah. Anyway, so that was our week. So yeah, now we're gonna get onto our topic. Our topic today is all around acknowledgement and taking responsibility and being able to acknowledge our own negative behaviours, but also how do we deal with other people who might have negative behaviours, and how do we deal with that, and what does that mean, and how does that make us feel? So I guess my first question for Becky, actually I guess the first thing is kind of what is it? What's a negative behaviour? What do we need to acknowledge? Why do we need to acknowledge them?
I guess it's it's negative in the sense that if it's making you feel some type of way, if someone is doing something that's making you feel a particular type of way, then that is a negative behavior. But I think that sometimes it's not necessarily saying that, you know, because if they was per se to do that behavior to somebody else, they might not react in that way. So is it right to say that that particular thing is a negative behavior, or it's the way that you are taking it? So
I guess sometimes it might be,
but then there are some things that are blatant.
I guess it might be because someone might have a behavior that they may not inflict on everybody else. So then is it just negative for you? Rather than, so then it's that kind of, we have to, this is why we're talking about acknowledgement, because it's about us making the decision to acknowledge the behaviors that we might have that may have the potential to affect other people, or maybe they're just affecting us because they're completely so negative that it's stopping us from doing something or stopping us from achieving something.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think that, okay, first of all, have you got a negative behavior that you think is one that's important, one that stands out? Because I've got two.
I'm moody. One of my negative behaviors is moodiness. Like,
what your actual negative behavior?
My actual negative behavior, I would say, is definitely
okay. But at what point does being moody become a negative behavior? Because we all have moods.
Because I think sometimes for me, it will be a case where I don't even know why I'm moody. Sometimes I will just be in a mood, and then it's like, if I can't be bothered anymore in that situation, no matter what it is, I'll rather just be like, it is what it is, like, you know what I mean, just walk away from it or don't want to deal with it. And at the end of the day, if I'm in that situation with somebody else and they are trying to deal with that situation and they are trying to communicate or whatever, then that's negative, because I'm shutting it down because I'm now just can't be bothered.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
That's not fair on another person, because if that person wants to get past something or through something and you're just like, okay, whatever, I'm not doing with this, that's out of order.
It is, but
stop doing that.
I try.
I try.
I do try, but then also as well is that I think that a lot of that comes from the fact that I get to a point where, as much as I'm social bunny, like, after a while, I've had enough, and that's it now. Like, that's it. I don't want to now talk anymore. Like, I don't want to laugh. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with me. I just don't, it's like, it's me time now. I just want some me time. And I think that when I get in sometimes in those situations, and then people just want to now start talking and bugging, but no, sorry, when I wanted to talk, where was you? When I was doing paragraphs, where were you? Okay, when I was trying to ring your phone, where were you? You didn't want to talk. But now that you're ready to have a conversation, I must be ready. No,
it's that thing of two. Especially if it's like two people and there are two negative behaviors that one kind of causes the other one. It then makes it up to somebody else to be the bigger person, to then not do theirs. So
well,
that
that's a big thing.
Like, it is because it's one of those things where
trying to be the bigger person.
Because otherwise, because what you're saying is like, that's like a ripple effect of someone doing something, someone doing something different, and then that negative behavior doing that one, and that one follows that one and that one because of the previous negative behavior. So somebody then has to cut the line and be like, look,
all right,
sorry. Yeah, you don't have to cut the line and be like, all right, I'm gonna try not to do mine today, because if I do mine, it's gonna be a ripple effect of negative behaviors. But then the next person also has to make the decision. It's long.
So what do you think your negative or two negative behaviors that you were saying earlier are?
I think one of mine is that when I have something to say and I feel like there are times where I feel like I'm always right and nobody can't tell me nothing.
There's a time, or all the time?
No, there's the time. There's a time. It's not all the time. It's not all the time. Anyway, so there are times where I feel like I just know everything, and then no matter what you say to me, I'm no, this is what it is. This is what it is, and then I might start. Do you mind? Of course, man. When you had your turn, you had your turn. But you had your turn.
Acknowledge.
No, I'm acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging that sometimes I think I know everything, yeah, and nobody got to tell me nothing. And then if there is a point where you got to tell me nothing, I'm not going to be listening to you. I'm going to be waiting for you to finish talking so that I can say something else. I'm being honest about it. That's sometimes that has to go. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. And I guess there is also a point where, especially when it comes down, it can come across as talking down to people. If I get that frustrated and I feel like you're not listening or you're not acknowledging your negative behavior that I'm trying to tell you about, then I'm going to be like, no. I'm trying to explain to you what it is that you're doing and how it's affecting me. But do you know what that leads to?
What does that lead to?
That leads to, basically, you know those people who feel like everything's an attack on them, taking things personally all the time? That is like something in terms of like, that's a really negative behavior. It's a really negative behavior because it means that no matter what you say to somebody or not what you say to that person, it's always going to be a, but no, that's not what it was. No. We don't need to be this defensive. We just need to do, discussions.
So how do you feel like, how do you think you can deal with someone like that?
You know what? I think those are kind of like the really difficult questions because you have to like, right. I think if you are someone who's being told you're being negative, yeah, I think it's about a time to kind of step back and look at the things that someone is saying. Yeah, and really analyze what this person is saying, because if you look at sometimes the behaviors that we have, they are toxic. And I'm not saying I'm the most amazing whatever, but some of the behaviors we have to be able to say, this is really toxic and I need to be able to deal with it. And sometimes someone else can't help us do that. So we have to look at it for ourselves and, really spend time with the people who are really positive around us, the people who feed our good energy, the people who, because if you're always with like negative people or people who are doing that negative Nancy, you're always going to feel like crap in it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I think it's that thing of if you are going to help someone who, if you are going to help someone who is quite negative or who's got these like really, really negative behaviors, you need to start thinking about what you're getting out of this.
Yep. But then is there not that sort of element of like, how much do you beat a dead horse? If you feel like you're continually trying to express to somebody how their behavior is affecting you and they are not acknowledging it, they're not doing anything about it and nothing's changing, and you find that it's the same repetitive conversation over and over again, at what point do you say, okay, do you cut them off? Do you keep trying because you care? Do you think to yourself, okay, maybe I'm doing it in the wrong way? Do you start blaming yourself and saying,
I think if you've been doing it for so long and you can't really see any, there's nothing positive coming out of it, you need to really analyze why you're doing it. Because are you doing it because it makes you feel needed? Or are you doing it because it gives you something to moan about or gossip about? Yeah. Or are you doing it because maybe you're trying to keep them that way? Maybe you like them like that.
Interesting,
Maybe you like them like that. Like those are three things that they could be. Because if you are really, really trying to help somebody and you can see they're not getting any better, what are you getting out of it? Why are you still there?
Interesting, because you know what? If the relationship has always been like that from the jump, then it's like, is that what you're actually attracted to? And if that person, like, if you're looking at it in a sense of, okay, guy, girl, dating and type scenario and negative behavior, then if that person really did start listening to what you were saying and changing that,
would you like them?
Would you actually still like them?
Or would they be a completely, you'd be like, no, I don't like this person anymore, I don't like them.
Do you know what I mean? Because you have to, and I think that is the problem. I think that sometimes it's like there's a difference between being with somebody, okay, again, in a dating type of situation, being with someone, and then all of a sudden negative behaviors start creeping into the relationship, creeping into the situation, and then you're finding it that the relationship is now stagnant, or the relationship is not moving, or you are feeling insecure because of these new behaviors. I think in those sorts of situations, it is that a case of how long do I stay to try and get it back to what it was? But what about those situations that you start the relationship off with those negative,
so how do you expect someone, how do you really expect someone else to change anything?
So really, is the problem them or you?
Yeah. Oh, and there it is.
You went for that. You saw that from the jump, from day one.
But it's the same thing with friendships as well. Like if you start a friendship and like with someone who's just really, really I don't know, really zapping all your energy, or they're really negative and you're a really positive person and they're with, and
But
like,
then how often though do you really start a friendship like that, or friendships end like that? There's no way that I'm going to meet someone on a friendship level and there are those type of red flags, or they're doing certain negative behaviors that I've told them about and they're not seem to addressing it. I don't need that. I'm not going to have
so
a
then why do
friendship like
why do
that.
we then do it with relationships? Why would you then be like, oh okay, I won't do this with a friend, but because it's a man, or because it's a woman, or because they're my partner?
Because that then comes down to the problem of, you know, you think you're going into a situation wanting one thing, so you might say to yourself, yeah, I want a man.
I guess
want a
with friendships, you
partner.
know what you want, innit?
You know, with a
Yeah.
friendship, a friendship is a friendship. You know the types of places that you like to hang out. You know the types of music that you like. You know those types of things, and those are the types of everyday sort of situations what you're building your friendship on. So if from jump you're not vibing with a person like that, or everything that you're doing
Yeah,
is
you're
a
gonna be like,
negative,
oh.
you're not going to pursue that friendship. But then I think that if you're saying, okay, well then why would you do that in a relationship, in a dating type of scenario? It gets back to your point of, you think that, okay, you know, you think that you need, or you want a man that's gonna do this and be that, yet still you are with someone that is none of those things. Absolutely not even.
A
It
little
didn't
bit,
even
yeah.
start off like that. But yet still you found a way to get attached. And not only have you got attached, but you are finding it hard to walk away.
You're making excuses for this person because you want
It's wild.
because you want them to be your person.
But it also makes you wonder, you thought you wanted a man, but maybe you wanted something else, and what you wanted was to feel needed by somebody else,
Which is all another
which is literally a
Pandora's
whole
box.
Pandora's box. But why would, if you've said to yourself you want X, Y, and Z, you meet someone that's Z, P, K, and D, why have you gone there? You've gone there. Something
Z, P, K, and D.
like literally
ABC. It should have been X, Y, Z.
I wanted to change it up a bit.
No, you just didn't think about it. But anyway, go on.
Proper calling me out.
I don't know what that was.
Listen, at the end of the day, the point I'm making
Sorry.
is the fact that you think you want one thing, but you are constantly or being put in these situations where you're finding you're dealing with the same type of negative behavior.
Yeah, every time.
Because maybe
Maybe
that's what you want.
And that's what you need to feel. And that's about you then looking at maybe all of your previous histories and whatever you've done, and looking at the people that you attract and the people you spend your time with, and using those to kind of think about, right, so what kind of person am I, and is this the person I want to be? Do I want to be the person that always feels that people always feel like they have to need? Because why would you want to be with someone because you need them?
Follow at ByNoel Beauty, that's BYNOEL Beauty, for all mink eyelashes and beauty products. Do you know what's even more weird is the fact that, okay, even if you did come to some sort of revelation that might be the case, and you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know what, is that me? Am I, you know? But that still doesn't excuse that other person's negative behaviour.
It doesn't.
Innit?
It
Do you know
doesn't.
what I mean?
It
So
doesn't.
let's not.
Because that
I'm not
person
even
is still
making
going to have to deal with
excuses.
that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That person still has those negative issues, and that person still is doing these things that's making you or anybody else feel some type of way. So, and I think that sometimes when you get in these situations with people, the minute you kind of express how you feel about their negative behaviours, it's just like, they seem to, and this brings it back to like toxic people, they seem to have a way of turning it around.
So it's you.
And
You
so
always
it's
do
you.
this. Yeah,
and so then
yeah.
you now feel like, hold on a second, is it my fault? Am I moaning too much? Am I complaining too much?
It's
But
not.
How can it be if you're expressing?
Do you know what that
how-
is? That is literally playing victim. Like, that's playing victim, because
It's so wild.
that's literally you're telling someone that what their behavior negatively affects you, and they're basically saying, "What? No, that's not me. How can that be me? And what they're doing is they're making it seem like they have no control over how they make other people feel.
Honestly.
They've got no control over the situation, and they've got no control over their own life. Babes, you have control. Use it.
Literally, it's the wildest
it's
thing.
silly.
Or when you try to say, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, your behavior made me feel like this and blah blah blah, and then they turn around and they're kind of saying they're making excuses for it, but I don't.
Or
I don't get that.
Or they're completely lacking in empathy, and they're just like,
Or
what? That's not true.
Yeah.
And then they're like, because basically what they failed to do is put themselves in your shoes and look at how the behavior that you've told them is affecting you. No matter if they think it's true or not, look at what I've told you. This is what you do, and this is when it makes me feel this way. And you're like, nah.
But you know what? And the thing is, it's like, apart from the negative behavior that you are trying to express to them, the most negative one of it all is the fact that they just don't get it. They're just sitting in your face telling you that you expressing how you feel is an attack.
It doesn't make sense
on
to them.
their character, on their behavior, on the person that they are, and they now feel shit about themselves because of how they made you feel, and it's they now feel sad because they've made. Grow the hell up. Grow the hell up and understand that it's not always. Listen, let me say something to the guys, okay? Let me say something to you. Just because a girl is telling you how she feels about something or how your behavior has made her feel, it's not an attack. Okay? It's literally a conversation.
It's literally me telling you how I feel about something that you've done. It has nothing to do with you deliberately cussing me out or deliberately. It's to do with how your actions are making me feel. And if you cannot acknowledge the way that your actions are making me feel, then something must be wrong. But you know what? I think there was something wrong with a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. I think there was something wrong with a lot of people
100%.
because you can say these things to people and they'll instantly they're in attack mode, and or they're like, but I didn't do that. Oh no, but you said this. Oh, it's like, oh my god, like we're just having a conversation about.
Do you think they know? Like, do you think they're
I
aware?
don't. Do you know what? Yeah, I really felt like people knew what they were doing, but I think people do. Do you know what? I think people do know. I just think sometimes people are not ready to acknowledge the fact that they are doing something,
They're just
and
not ready to have that conversation.
yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, and they're playing the fool. You're playing the jackass. You're playing the dunce ass, and we see you in it. We see you. We see the hell out of you.
Don't ever think that behaviour is going unnoticed.
Because it's not acceptable. It's what you're doing then is you're then affecting another person, and that person is now probably not going to progress in the ways that they need to progress because they're kind of waiting for you to kind of give them a little bit of something, for you to just listen to them, and that's kind of sad. But you know what? Ultimately, yeah, what we have to realize is that people choose the attitude they have. People, it's their choice. Like someone can actually sit down to you, live with you, and listen to what you're saying and hear you, or they won't. And you know what? Let them do it because what? Because what next? What are you gonna do? Sit down, as you said, beating a dead horse. Sit down, going, but listen, this is what you've done, and and every single time you're being made to feel like an idiot, or you're like your point isn't valid, or like you don't matter.
Exactly.
Listen, it's long.
Exactly. Or then you have those people who get to a point where they just stop saying anything, and they just put up with the, they just put up with the behavior because they find it hard to cut that person off for whatever reason it is. They find it really hard to cut that person off, so they either get to a point where it's just like, well, you know what, I've said what I said, so they then start changing their behavior or start acting a certain type of way to adapt to that person because they find it hard to cut that person off for whatever reason. For whatever reason that is.
But you know what? The thing is that some people literally will not acknowledge certain behaviours. They will not do it, and then they will keep coming back to you because they want accessibility. They want access to your life.
That's wild. Listen.
And maybe the fact that you keep them around, or every time they do access your life, you keep them around, is your own.
Yeah,
needing to feel needed. It's all a big circle.
It is, and the thing is, they work hand in hand. And I think a lot of the time, it's all of this stuff about, we can sit up here all day long and run joke about toxic men, run joke about this and run joke about that. But at the end of the day, we are all in situations that are going round in circles, or we have all been in situations that are like this, where that person's being that type of way, but you already know, but you're still staying because you're trying to do this, but then you already know this, and then you guys keep coming back to each other, and then you keep leaving. But then it's just like those types of things really
They are toxic.
fuck with you, because then you start thinking like, does this mean that this is my guy? Because he keeps coming, like we keep finding each other.
It means that he wants to access you, and it means that you feel like, oh,
you want to be accessed by him.
I want to be. This all sounds a little bit saucy. You want to be accessed by him. I'm not being funny, Becky, but is that what you say?
I'm just
Come and access me. Come and access me.
What are you doing to ASMR for the people?
No, we're not doing ASMR. We're not doing that again.
Guys, if you want to hear me do that again, please just let me know, because I'm down to do it again.
Anyways, so so for someone who, so I think this is a really toxic behavior. Like, those people that need like constant validation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If someone needed constant validation, or like needed this thing, they needed to be told all the time how great they are and whatever. How would you explain to them that it's odd, or like it worries you, or it makes you feel like, oh, it's long? Actually, okay, how would it make you feel if someone constantly needed validating?
Well, obviously it would flip and piss me off. Like, get away from me. But at the same time, if you care about that person and it's real, and whatever you lot are going through, it is what it is, you would naturally be giving that person all of that validation, I feel like. So there must be something
maybe
that's
missing
lacking
in the relationship.
because and I think that's when you're now looking at the type of people that you want to be with. If you are a person that knows you like a lot of that, then why would you go and be with somebody who doesn't do that and then moan? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
No, I don't know, because I think because I feel like sometimes those behaviors, because we're not talking about like normal, oh yeah, that was a nice thing you done. We're talking about constantly, like, it's like, oh, do you love me, or do you like that, or do you know what I mean? Just constantly needing them to be told, constantly needing to be told.
No, get away from me. Get away, because you're a child.
Because really, like, you can be with someone in the beginning and they're not like that, and then as things progress, now they're like, oh, but so what about me, or what about this, or
that could be something that you've done. Because if it wasn't like that in the beginning, and then it started getting like that,
I'm gonna be funny, but I cannot be responsible for the way someone else behaves. I'm sorry, that's their behavior, not mine.
Not saying that you could be responsible for it, but if you've done something, or if something has happened, if there's been a breakdown in communication.
Okay, but what could happen that someone now needs to hold my hand all the time and needs to be told, yeah, you're
maybe you made that person feel like they wasn't good enough for you, or that they wasn't enough, or that you settled for them, or that they are second best, and that if you had an opportunity, you would have rather been with someone else. Those are the types of things that people do, and you don't even realize you're giving those types of vibes. And when you start doing that, and that person starts thinking, rah, does this person actually, they are going to need that constant validation. They are going to need it, because but then
also it was for that person in the beginning, before it got to the point where they're at now, to say the other person and acknowledge the fact that
maybe
I'm feeling a certain type of way, but it's
maybe they was, and that person wasn't listening. So now what?
Now we all stay single. Now we all stay single, or we go with the people man. For your cakes, follow at sistercakes.london, especially known for their Nubian range.
That brings us nicely to our people man
For
segment.
real, it actually did.
It really just did. We were going there, so and that just kind of brought us nicely to our segment. So someone DM'd us.
We got DM.
Whoop whoop. And they wanted to get our opinions, and also get your listeners' opinions as well. So definitely give us feedback on this. So it was a female, and she's basically dealing with a people man. And of late, he's been kind of you know, saying things about the people, and you know,
the people is
his
the
woman,
partner, you know,
his woman, them,
the one,
and you know, moaning about, you know, complaining, and you know, he's getting real comfortable in the situation with this girl now, where he's now moaning about the situation or telling her, and to the point where she now is feeling, you know, can she say something too, innit? Can she disrespect the
I mean, I'm not
woman
gonna lie.
too, innit?
If I was in her position, I would, because if you're gonna put your woman in the position where I can now disrespect her, I mean, she's not my friend, so what? I'm just saying, you know, if
how
dare you? Yeah.
How dare you?
And you know, this is where men specifically go wrong, yeah. Because I've like there's so many people that I've spoken to, and they'll be like, oh yeah, he's talking about his woman, and I'm just like, so you lie down with this with another woman and talk about your woman, as if to say, like, flippantly, like, if you ever
call her whatever, innit? Because clearly it don't matter. Do what you want, babes. Because you've been doing what you want when you was jumping under the people's man's things. Okay, you didn't care then, but now you want to care. Listen,
but I guess at that point it's different, because like the fact that you've got a woman is not really in that person, in her thoughts, because you're not talking about her. I don't see her. So
exactly.
so what? Now are you saying that? So now you want to be talking to you? I'm sorry. I hope the man is listening to this, because I hope he's listening, because stop it. Stop doing that, because what's going to end up happening, let me tell you what's going to end up happening, yeah, is that you're going to do my woman is my woman that, and then you and Miss Missy Hair, who sent in the DM, are going to fall out. You're going to fall out, and she's going to be like this. Listen, I'll tell your woman, don't chat shit to me. Don't chat shit to me, because I'll...
Or you'll get in a situation where you know, you're chatting your woman, yeah, my woman, and then your little, you know, the girl on the side now is sitting there, and then, you know, all this time, all that she's always been doing is, oh babe, you know, oh babe, and then one day she turns around and she's like, yeah, fuck that bitch, innit?
Are you dumb? And then what happens? And then you're gonna get mad. He's gonna be like, you can't say that about my woman, but you have been saying it. So if you have been saying it, why can't I say it?
Listen,
monkey see, monkey do with it.
It's all wild, innit? But I would say, and I don't care, innit, do what you're doing, innit? Say what you're saying, because clearly the respect level has gone. And the thing about it is that when you start testing the waters now, and you start saying little sly things or little sly comments, and the guy don't budge or don't say nothing to you,
you start getting worse. You start saying, you might start saying, first of all, you might just sprinkle a little bit in it. You might just drop a little piece in there and see how the man responds. And then the next time, listen, guys,
next time is full blown.
Honestly,
you need to do this, and then. But the thing is, those are the dangerous ones, because you know what, you have some sort of people bad situations where, yeah, it's just a bit of fun. You're just sleeping with the people man, and you know it's gonna fizzle out.
I'm not funny. A bit of fun sleeping with the people man.
That's how they see it, innit? Why else are they doing it? Because
I don't know.
Because you can't get in these situations and actually think that the people's man is going to be your man.
I mean, there was a girl on Twitter that said 10 out. She rated it 10 out of 10. She took the people man.
Listen,
and I heard the people man are married.
I get that.
Happily ever after.
I mean, I get that. However,
forever and ever, amen.
However, you can't go into every situation thinking like that.
Yeah.
So if you've gone into a situation, and let's just say, to make my argument strong, let's just say you got into it for fun, right? You're going to start doing things to see how far you can push that situation.
And also, but then, you know, at the point where the people man starts talking about his woman to start talking about the people to the, what do we call? We need a name for the.
We need a name for the. I don't know. If you've got any
ideas
for names, let us know.
The people man,
because got the people and the people,
the people man and the people, and now we need the name for
we need the name for the
doer. Yeah, the doer. I don't know what we'll call it, the doer. So, is there a point where the people man is now maybe falling in love with the doer? Because why are you now telling the doer stuff that's going on in your house? That's not the doer's business. It's not the doer's business. What you need to do is do the doer.
That's what you need.
Well, the people man need to just do the doer.
Come do your job,
and that's it.
Go home.
Because you are now opening up a whole section,
emotional,
section
a whole emotional section of something that doesn't need to be opened.
And this is where people go wrong.
Because
this is when people start talking.
Because what you do is you doing that, you've opened up a fact that there's problems. Listen, when there's problems, comes a knocking, mate.
Also, and the doer's now going to be sitting down on the back of her chair,
thinking.
She can be swinging on the chair, right? And she's going to be like, oh, look at this. Listen, he came here today and he was telling me that I did this, and the other, and his woman don't do. Are you really going to allow your woman to be disrespected to that point? Because
yeah, they are. Because that's what they're doing.
Nah, man, that's wrong. You know, like, that's honestly. Doing. I mean, you know, if you wanna do what you do with the doer, people, whatever. But you got to remember that you got someone at home that this is going to affect too. You've got someone at home that's gonna affect you.
But they're not thinking about that. They're just in
no, because they're too busy complaining about the people and to the doer. And now the doer is sitting down there like, oh, the doer might even be scrolling your woman's Instagram. She might be scrolling your woman's Instagram, and she might tell you one day, look. This is that's your woman, innit? Right? If you talk shit to me again, I'm a messenger. It's that easy. Look. All kind of social media. Listen, these guys need to be careful.
Those things happen so often. You hear so much of these stories, and you just have to think.
And a lot of the time, the men situation. The reason that they got caught is because the doer got too brave and started telling people and started telling. Listen, I'm not being funny, but guys, can we?
Because do you know what? The man gave the doer that leverage to feel like she is better. Yeah. For number one, you made her feel like she's better than your woman.
Okay, but is she worse than your woman? Because my thing is she worse? Because who would you rather be? Would you rather be the doer or would you rather be the people?
That's such a wild question.
If you think about it, who would you rather be? The doer or the people?
I'll be a monk. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I'll be a monk. Yeah, so I'm going to be a monk, guys.
So it's not about who is better. It's about the point where you are now being disrespectful towards somebody who you have given your commitment to. You've given your commitment to that person, and now you're allowing somebody else to disrespect them in their face. Are you dumb? Are you mad?
What do you guys think? So this is so you know I've got a bit of homework this week. Okay, so this week, do you know what I want to hear? I want some ideas about what we're gonna be called the doer, or do you like the doer?
I like the doer, though.
Or do you like the doer? So let us know if you like the doer, if you don't like the doer, or if you've got any other suggestions, and we'll see what it is. And also, kind of like, what are your views on the whole disrespect thing? And you know, is there a point where if you are the people man and the doer, and you lot, you know, have some sort of friendship and you naturally would speak about your relationships and the issues and the stuff you're going through.
What?
You know, is it okay? Is there some sort of element to, you know, what do you lot think? Do you think that there is an element that it is okay for them to be able to express how they're feeling?
I think that men are extremely wild, and you need to tell your friend. You see your male friend that you want to talk shit to all the time. You need to tell him. Why you telling the doer? The doer is not her business. Oh, honestly, listen. People just gonna end up getting a lot of stick for just no reason, just because they want to talk, and just because you're comfortable, and because you've done whatever now. And guys, it's just not gonna end well.
It's not, but yeah. Let us know what you think, and thanks for listening.
I kind of want to hear from the people man. I want to speak to the people man.
Yeah, listen. Can
the people man?
Can one people man?
Yeah. Has anyone got a people man that we
literally that we can talk to? Like literally DM us. But first,
because I really want to know how the people man see, because I feel like the people man must do this, do stuff like that a lot.
Yeah, because I feel like there could be obviously other reasons. Like, are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it because you're truly unhappy? Yeah. Are you doing it because you truly do like that other person? Like, you know, yes, I want to hear from people man. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember to follow us on socials at But First of All spelled correctly. At thatgirlb_XOXO.
At cup of ginger_tea.
And that's on Instagram. And then we're also on SoundCloud and YouTube. And that's BFOA podcast.
Yeah. So that is it for today. Obviously, we hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely week. We hope you started off your week in the most spectacular way with loads of laughs and loads of silly behaviour. See you later.